Now, in my previous video, you guys already saw that I was talking about Lorenzo Carter signing a new 2-year deal with the Atlanta Falcons. Well, in this video, we shall be talking about one specific player again, and the last video we'll be talking about Rashaan Evans. In this video, we'll be talking about the one that has been with the Falcons for a couple years now. He was the second wide receiver this past year, and that is Olamide Zaccheaus. Now, I'm going to be very honest, I don't really know if the Falcons will resign Olamide Zaccheaus. I mean, he is still young. He's just going to be 26 this year, so we can at least sign him to a 3-year deal at a very cheap price. And I'm going to be honest, if I had to give my honest opinion, which I'll give at the end, so keep watching towards the end of the video, because then I'll give you my opinion on whether Olamide Zaccheaus should be re-signed or not re-signed. So, 2019 was Olamide Zaccheaus' first season as an Atlanta Falcon. Keep in mind, I think the 2019 season we also still had Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley. In that season, he had 10 games played, 3 receptions for 5 yards, 115 yards, 1 touchdown. 2020, he had 20 receptions, 32 targets, 274 yards, 13.7 average yards per catch, and 1 touchdown. 2021, and I just want to say this, that 2019 season, I'm pretty sure that 115 yards came from a deep ball from Matt Ryan. I remember that catch specifically. It was a very good pass, and it was a very good catch by Olamide Zaccheaus. 2021, 17 games played, 31 receptions, 53 targets, 406 yards, averaging 13.1 per catch, 3 touchdowns, and in this past season as the number 2 wide receiver behind Drake London, and I would probably say Kyle Pitts until Kyle Pitts got injured. 17 games played, 40 receptions, 61 targets, 533 yards, 13.3 average per catch per reception, and 3 touchdowns. So, looking at Olamide Zaccheaus, he's had 94 targets he's had 151 targets for 94 receptions for 151 targets. And he's had 1,328 yards and averaging 14 yards a catch, 8 touchdowns. He is a deep kind of guy. He's more like a deep, you're going to throw it deep, and Olamide Zaccheaus is definitely going to catch it. But I mean, I really just can't put him past it, because this past season, he really didn't have a quarterback that can throw the ball deep. He had Marcus Mariota, and then for the last 4 games, Desmond Ridder. If it looks like Desmond Ridder is going to be a starter next season, I expect Olamide Zaccheaus, if we resign him, to get better. Because looking at this, he was definitely reliable. 40 catches for 61 targets. That's pretty good. He caught more than half of his targets. So that's a very reliable receiver. 533 yards. I'm pretty sure none of the Falcons receivers had over 1,000 yards, so I'm not even gonna go into that. He was averaging 13 yards a catch, 3 touchdowns, pretty decent. But in terms of my honest opinion on whether the Falcons should re-sign Olamide Zaccheaus, considering the fact that he's only going to be 26 at the start of the season, and he's still yet very young, and we're going to have Desmond Ridder, we're going to need to give Desmond Ridder weapons that can do it. And even if he's a 3rd wide receiver, I think that'd be a lot better, because then we can get a more deep ball to Olamide Zaccheaus. So if I had to give my honest opinion on whether I think Olamide Zaccheaus should be re-signed by the Atlanta Falcons, I think the Falcons definitely should re-sign Mr. Olamide Zaccheaus.